Well, let's talk about the Paul Lambert situation as well. Seemingly walked out on Norwich City. Your reaction to that? Because with Brendan Rodgers going from Swansea, it's a bit sad, isn't it? Because it was a fairy tale for these teams to come up and do so well.
But also it was expected. Whenever it's no different if a player does very well in his first season in the Premier League and he's done really well, there'll be lots of clubs after him, and it's no different to a young manager as well, especially with what they've done in their track record leading up to that. You know, to get that opportunity to go to a big club and actually be able to apply their trade, I think is quite right too, because tend to look abroad too much for me for managers. So I think that's great. But Paul Lambert, when this one come about, you know, little things you hear again, you know, that things aren't quite right. You know, he can't get the people he wants, the players that he wants for next season, this and the other.
Grant Holt said that he's come out on Twitter today and said that he's had a disagreement with the board. And
absolutely, yeah. He's put his transfer request in already. Did it last week or the week before, didn't he? Put a transfer request in, I believe. So, you know, things are already beginning to go the wrong way there, and so an opportunity now to go and ply your trade somewhere else. You know, he's got to take it, especially with things not quite right at home.
Well, I think he's got to take, obviously, you're talking about Aston Villa and Randy Lerner and everything like that. Let's talk to an Aston Villa fan then. Max Whittle joins us on Skype. Max, good to talk to you. Paul Lambert, does that sound good for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we had three main candidates in Lambert, Martinez and Rodgers, and now that the other two have disappeared, it seems, Lambert was the fans' favourite, I think, before the end of the season. So that was definitely what we needed, because the fans, as we know, basically pushed McLeish out, and now that you've got Lambert, a manager that we want. I think he's young, he's got good ideas, and I think he's more than just a Route 1 player. I mean, Rodgers and Martinez, very much passing styles, whereas Lambert plays good football, but he also has a plan B. I think he's got a good defensive scheme, and hopefully gets some of the good football that Villa fans deserve, I think.
Max, don't want to be negative or cynical, but does it matter who's the manager at the moment with Randy Lerner as the owner? What are your thoughts on the American in charge?
Yeah, I think he was a bit insulted that a lot of people were saying he's less interested last season, but I think he's giving Lambert 20 million to spend in the summer, and obviously Lambert can go back for his own players like Grant Holt, who you mentioned there, has put in a request. So yeah, I don't really mind. I think it was necessary that we got a young manager in. I think that was the criteria that the board put in, that we get a young manager with bright ideas, and as you saw probably before, that we were trying to get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That fell through, but certainly I think we got the right man, because McLeish and Houllier, as you can tell, didn't work out.
Yeah, you brought more players through the academy, haven't you, than any other club in the Premier League. Fantastic record there. What are the ambitions then? We talked about Liverpool's ambitions realistically for next season. Where the Villa, is it staying up? Is that offensive to say that, or is it top 10? What do you think?
I'd say league position this season was not really true of what we can achieve, but we're looking at Martin O'Neill days are long gone. I think top half will be a good and realistic as well opportunity to get. But we certainly don't want to be mixing with the relegation teams next season, because that'll be a massive disappointment. I think Lambert's got to come in now. He's got a few months to buy some players. We've got a lot of players off the wage bill, like Heskey and Cuellar, who are really sitting around this season. So it'll be interesting to see who goes out and buys. But I think top half, Europe for now is gone. I think that was under Martin O'Neill. We were trying to get top four, so the resources are there, but not anymore.
Fair enough, Max. Well, good to talk to you. Wish you the best of luck next season. Hopefully that £20 million is spent wisely. And we'll catch up with you in the future, no doubt. Quick word, Luther, on Villa then. £20 million, is that enough to get them into a decent top half side?
Well, you're looking at Aston Aston Villa, that's a lot of money at Aston Villa. You know, if you're talking about your Man U and people like that, that wouldn't be enough to sort of the calibre of players they'd need to bring in. But at Aston Villa, you're talking Grant Holt. What's he going to cost them? Maybe about £5-6 million. You know,
isn't he 31?
Yeah, he is. So yeah, I think he could be.
He scores goals.
He scores goals, and there's a premium on players who score goals. Yeah. The fact that he scores gols matters more than the age now.
15 Premier League goals last season.
I'm not sure what his contract situation is at the moment.
Do you think? Do you sense there'll be a turnaround? Paul Lambert, can he pull it off at Villa? Because there's a lot of players gone out the door in the last few years, isn't there? There's a massive rebuilding job.
I'm not sure it's massive. I'm not sure right now. I mean, that squad from last season, if they've had different tactics and a different mindset and a bit more positivity around the club, would have finished 6 or 7 places higher up the league. I think if he goes in there, even if he brings 2 players, it can make all the difference. Because he's still got quality there. Shea Given's a good keeper. Darren Bent's up front. I think, I don't think they're that bad.
Who he brings in is so crucial. That will actually lift the place and give people real belief that they can do better than they did last year.
And Lambert deserves his chance as well, because everyone says, OK, loyalty, maybe you should owe it to Norwich. But I mean, if he'd not done a good job at Norwich, he'd have been out the door in a flash.
Of course he would.
Every years he'd been there as well.
Yeah, and every manager would get fired, wouldn't they, as well? He's brought them from League One up to the Premier League, so you can't complain too much.